There's a Toyota maintenance scam that doesn't start with a broken part, a warning light, or a strange noise. It starts the moment your odometer rolls past 60,000 miles. Nothing about the car changes at that exact moment. The engine doesn't suddenly wear faster. Fluids don't magically expire. Parts don't hit a hidden cliff. Yet for many Toyota owners, service visits become noticeably more expensive right after that milestone. That's not a coincidence. It's a shift in how the vehicle is sold back to you. Up to 60,000 miles, Toyota ownership feels simple. Oil changes, tire rotations, basic inspections. The language is calm and routine. The costs feel manageable. You leave the service department feeling like you're doing the right things at the right time. Once the odometer crosses 60,000, the tone changes. Suddenly, maintenance becomes preventative intervention. Recommendations turn into warnings. Words like long-term damage, system protection, and future failure start appearing on estimates. The same car that felt dependable a month earlier is now framed as vulnerable. That's where the scam begins. Not because every recommendation is fake, but because the urgency is manufactured. Toyota builds its vehicles with wide safety margins. Components are designed to last far beyond early mileage milestones. Engineers expect owners to drive conservatively, skip unnecessary services, and space maintenance intelligently. That's part of why Toyotas develop a reputation for longevity. The service system, however, isn't rewarded for patience. It's rewarded for momentum. Once a car exits warranty territory or approaches it, the business model shifts. Service departments know owners are more anxious about aging vehicles. They also know that 60,000 miles feels like a psychological turning point, even if it isn't a mechanical one. That anxiety gets monetized. Owners are shown long lists of due services that weren't mentioned before. Fluid changes appear suddenly. Inspections that were once complimentary now come with alarming notes. Everything is framed as something you should do now to avoid regret later. And because nothing is technically broken, it's hard to push back. Saying no feels risky. Saying yes feels responsible. That's the trap. What makes this scam effective is that it doesn't rely on lies. It relies on timing. Recommendations are presented right when owners are most receptive to fear-based logic. The car is older but still valuable. You want to protect it. You want to do the right thing. Service advisors don't need to exaggerate. They just need to stack suggestions. One fluid turns into 3. One inspection turns into a bundle. A keep an eye on it becomes, we should address this today. None of it feels aggressive. It feels orderly, professional, almost helpful. And because the car still drives fine afterward, the pattern continues. Owners don't realize they've entered a new phase of spending until months later, when maintenance costs feel permanently higher than they used to be. By then, the new normal has set in. Toyota didn't design these vehicles to require a financial shift at 60,000 miles. The systems don't suddenly age faster. Wear doesn't accelerate because of a number on the dash. What changes is the sales approach. Experienced Toyota owners eventually notice this pattern. They realize that many of the services being pushed don't correspond to any real change in how the car behaves. No new sounds, no warning lights, no performance drop, just a new sense of urgency. That's when the smartest owners slow everything down. They stop treating mileage as a trigger. They start treating symptoms as signals. They ask what actually changed, not what the menu suggests. And that single mindset shift is often enough to save thousands over the remaining life of the vehicle. If you've owned a Toyota long enough to see how differently it's treated before and after 60,000 miles, tap the like button. Subscribe if you value calm ownership over panic maintenance. And if you've ever noticed service visits suddenly getting more expensive for no clear reason, share that experience in the comments. I see every comment. And those patterns help other owners recognize what's really happening. Once you understand that the scam isn't a single service but a change in framing, everything else becomes easier to spot. The pressure makes more sense. The estimates feel less intimidating, and the car goes back to being what it actually is. A Toyota that hasn't changed nearly as much as the conversation around it. Once a Toyota crosses 60,000 miles, the maintenance conversation stops being about what the car needs and starts being about what it might need someday. That distinction matters more than most owners realize. This is where service centers quietly change how they present information. Instead of discussing condition, they start discussing possibility. Instead of explaining what is worn, they focus on what could wear. And that subtle shift opens the door to aggressive upselling that feels responsible on the surface, but rarely aligns with how Toyotas actually age. I've seen this play out countless times. An owner comes in for a routine oil change on a Camry or RAV4 that's running perfectly fine. No warning lights, no leaks, no drivability issues. The advisor disappears for a few minutes, then returns with a tablet full of red and yellow boxes. Brake fluid due. Coolant recommended. Transmission service strongly suggested. Nothing changed between the drive-in and the estimate. Only the mileage number did. Service departments rely heavily on mileage-based menus after 60,000 miles because they're easy to justify and hard to disprove. Most owners don't know exactly when fluids actually degrade. They don't know which services Toyota requires versus which ones are optional. And they don't want to gamble with a car they plan to keep for a long time, so they approve things just in case. That's where the scam becomes expensive. Toyota does not design its maintenance schedule around fear. It's built around durability testing, real-world wear data, and conservative engineering assumptions. Many fluids are designed to last far longer than service menus suggest. Some systems are meant to be inspected, not flushed. Others are designed to be left alone unless a problem appears. Service centers often blur those distinctions. A classic example is the automatic transmission. Many Toyota transmissions are engineered for long drain and fill intervals, or even lifetime fluid under normal driving conditions. Yet once 60,000 miles appears on the odometer, transmission flushes suddenly become urgent. The language shifts to contamination, internal wear, and future failure. What rarely gets mentioned is that aggressive flushing can introduce more risk than benefit, especially on a transmission that has been operating smoothly. Toyota engineers understand this. That's why factory guidance is far more cautious than dealership sales pitches. Brake fluid is another favorite. Brake fluid does absorb moisture over time, but that process depends heavily on climate, driving conditions, and exposure. It does not magically become dangerous at a specific mileage, yet service menus often treat it like an expiration date. Owners are told replacement is necessary for safety, even when braking performance hasn't changed at all. Coolant follows the same pattern. Toyota's long-life coolant is designed to last up to 100,000 miles before its first replacement in many models. After 60,000 miles, however, coolant flushes are frequently presented as preventative protection. The implication is that skipping it risks overheating or internal corrosion even when the system is functioning normally. What owners aren't told is that premature coolant service offers no measurable benefit if the system is clean and sealed. In some cases, unnecessary flushing can introduce air pockets or contamination if not done properly. These services aren't scams because they're fake. They're scams because they're mistimed. They're sold as urgent when they're not. They're framed as required when they're optional. And they're bundled together to make declining them feel irresponsible. Another tactic that becomes more common after 60,000 miles is stacking. One recommendation leads to another. If you approve a fluid service, it justifies inspecting another system. That inspection leads to a recommendation. The recommendation leads to a package. The package leads to a discount that only applies today. By the time the estimate is complete, the owner is staring at a bill that's 2 or 3 times higher than expected, even though the car came in with no complaints. Most owners don't push back because everything sounds logical in isolation. Each service has a justification. Each explanation sounds professional. And because Toyotas are known for reliability, owners assume they must be entering a more demanding phase of ownership. They're not. What they're entering is a more aggressive sales phase. Experienced Toyota owners eventually notice the pattern. They realize the car didn't suddenly start wearing out faster. They realize that skipping one recommended service doesn't cause immediate problems. They notice that friends with similar vehicles who go to independent shops aren't being told the same things. That's when confidence returns. They start asking better questions. What changed since my last visit? What symptom does this service address? Is this required by Toyota or just suggested here? Can this be monitored instead of done today? Those questions don't cause conflict. They cause clarity. If you've ever felt surprised by how quickly service recommendations multiplied after 60,000 miles, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to keep your Toyota dependable without letting maintenance turn into a constant expense. And if you've ever approved a service simply because it sounded responsible, share that story in the comments. Those experiences help other owners slow the process down and make better decisions. Once you see how mileage-based fear is used to drive sales, the estimates lose their power. You stop reacting and start evaluating. And the car goes back to aging the way Toyota intended. Gradually, predictably, without panic. By the time a Toyota owner realizes they've been pulled into unnecessary maintenance after 60,000 miles, the money is usually already spent. The services are done, the invoice is paid, and because nothing goes wrong immediately, the system reinforces itself. It feels like the right decision was made. That delayed feedback is what makes this maintenance scam so effective. Toyota vehicles are engineered to degrade slowly. Problems don't appear overnight. Wear shows up gradually, often years later. So when extra services are approved early, there's no obvious moment where someone can say, That was a mistake. The consequences show up quietly as higher ownership costs, not dramatic failures. This is why service centers lean so heavily on the 60,000-mile milestone. It's far enough along to sound serious, but early enough that nothing is actually wrong yet. Owners are told they're being proactive, when in reality, they're just being early. And early maintenance is rarely free. What separates owners who avoid this trap from those who fall into it isn't technical knowledge, it's mindset. The owners who spend less over the long term don't treat maintenance like a checklist. They treat it like observation. They listen to how the car feels. They pay attention to changes. They respond to symptoms instead of schedules. A Toyota that shifts smoothly, runs quietly, brakes consistently, and holds temperature is not asking for intervention. It's communicating stability. Ignoring that signal in favor of a tablet-based recommendation is how money gets wasted. One of the most telling patterns I've seen is this. Owners who approve everything after 60,000 miles often say they're doing it to protect the car. Owners who wait say they're doing it because nothing has changed yet. Years later, the second group usually has fewer leaks, fewer nuisance repairs, and fewer unexpected expenses. That's not coincidence. Toyota engines and drivetrains benefit from consistency. Fluids that stay clean don't need to be disturbed. Systems that operate normally don't benefit from being opened. Every unnecessary service introduces risk even when it's performed correctly. This doesn't mean maintenance should be ignored, it means it should be earned. When a service is truly necessary, the car will tell you. Shifts will change. Temperatures will fluctuate. Braking will feel different. Warning lights will appear. Those are signals worth responding to. Mileage alone is not. The most expensive maintenance mistakes happen when owners act out of fear instead of information. Fear of breakdowns, fear of neglect, fear of being irresponsible. Service centers know this, and the 60,000-mile mark is where that fear is easiest to trigger. But here's the truth most owners never hear. Toyotas that last the longest are not the ones that receive the most services. They're the ones that receive the right services at the right time. That's why some Toyotas quietly pass 200, 300, even 400,000 miles without drama. Their owners didn't panic. They didn't chase every recommendation. They stayed patient. If this breakdown helped you see why service estimates suddenly explode after 60,000 miles, take a moment to subscribe. This channel exists for owners who want long-term reliability without unnecessary spending. And if you've ever felt pressured into approving services simply because your mileage hit a certain number, leave a comment below. I see every comment, and those shared experiences help others protect their Toyotas. Once you stop letting the odometer dictate fear, maintenance becomes what it was always meant to be: calm, intentional, and far less expensive over the life of the vehicle.